Okay, hi everyone. We are back for session 5 of our Ironsworn playthrough. Let's go ahead and do a quick recap. So, where we left off, Albrun is on his way out of Grinbrook to locate this elder mystic Mattick, who Kanara says lives on kind of on the edge of the deep wilds, which is west of Grinbrook, a little bit northwest from Grinbrook specifically. Um, and we are going to seek this elder mystic out because, with Albrun's experience at the pillar, at the iron pillar, he definitely recognizes that whatever this was, it was definitely magic, and it is magic far beyond his own comprehension. Like I've said in these past couple of sessions, Albrun has never formally trained with his magic. He is of Skuld descent, of that is obvious with his silver eyes, and he has certainly been using magic throughout his life. I think I mentioned in session 0 kind of his backstory is like the way that he's kind of taking care of himself as an adventurer of sorts is that he goes from settlement to settlement and he kind of offers um, services with his magic. I mean, again, he's not like an expert at it, but I'm sure, he can get a bed, get some food or whatever by offering magical services where he may or may not be. And he's also a swindler, so I'm sure he's also scammed people. He's probably a charlatan, if you will. He's probably claimed that he can divine the future. He can't, but he's probably claimed it, and people have believed him and paid him for it. So, anyways, but he's not received any like formal training with his magic. So that's something to keep in mind. So he is seeking out Elder Mystic Mattick because he needs someone who actually is a professional, if you will, someone who has a lot more experience with magic. Because he has some questions about this pillar and he's hoping that this mystic can answer them. So that's his reason why he wants to find this elder mystic, and that's where he was headed. But before he could leave Grimbrooke, Overseer Kanara actually caught him on his way out and asked him a favor on behalf of Grimbrooke as a settlement. And she asked, when you reach this mystic Mattick, can you convince him to come back like he has in the past into the havens and perform a ritual over the land so that our crops can grow because the soil is just really not doing it right now. And Albrun did agree to take on that quest. And in fact, I don't know if we covered this in the last session, but this is a vow. This isn't a side quest. This is an iron vow. So Albrun is actually going to take his iron necklace that he has of Lady Destiny, Lady Fate. He's going to hold it in his hand. He's going to say, "Yes, I will do my best to get Mattick here and perform this ritual for Grimbrooke." And so he's swearing the iron vow. And we rolled swear an iron vow at the end of our last session, session 4, and it was a miss. And so on a miss with an iron vow, I'll read it again. On a miss, you face a significant obstacle before you can begin your quest. Envision what stands in your way and choose one. And we already went ahead and chose you press on and suffer 2 momentum, and then we have to do what we must to overcome this obstacle. But I didn't envision the obstacle last session because the film time was getting a little long. So we're going to do that now. And I've actually taken a little bit of time to think about this between sessions. And I think I have come up with a good obstacle that I feel like fits the narrative and maybe ties in a few loose ends that we had. And so, as Albrun and Overseer Kanara are talking, by this gate, we can actually feel some more vibrations on the ground. I swear, Albrun is probably so sick of feeling vibrations from the ground. He's probably so sick of it. And you can hear like just some rumbling from the distance, and it's coming very quick. It's getting louder and it's coming very quick. And the guardsmen at the top of this pine trunk wall that surrounds Grimbrooke are looking at the distance, and they're getting their horns. They're getting like one of their war horns, and they get Overseer Kanara's attention. They're like, Overseer, come up, look. And so she's actually gonna rush over to the stairs and get on the top of the wall and look. And I think Albrun's actually gonna go ahead and follow her. Why not? And so we get to the top of the wall and we look. Um, and in the distance, we can see, I would say we can see. Let's roll. Roll on the action die. I need a number, so we're going to roll on the action die. 4. Okay. We see 4 horsemen. 4 horsemen, riding towards Grimbrook. They are armed and they are armored. But they carry no banner, no flag, nothing to identify themselves. And Overseer Kanara is like looking and she's squinting her eyes. And she's like, you can just kind of see like a wave of almost a fear, I guess, kind of wash over her. I would say it definitely looks like she recognizes who these people are, where they're from, or whatever. Like, I feel like that's what that fear indicates. And Albrun, things are getting a little excited because that war horn happened, and so people in the village. And remember, this is morning time, so people in the village, they were already starting to wake up, but now everyone's kind of like coming out of their houses and they're coming towards the start at the gate, and they're like, "What now? What's going on? Like this is crazy. Just yesterday, the force wave kind of knocked them. This is crazy. People are scared." And one of the council members, Councilman Eli, he actually kind of has a smug look on his face, and he's gonna walk towards the gate, and he's going to tell one of the guardsmen, "Open the gate." And the guardsman's gonna be like, "What?" And they're gonna look at Overseer Kanara, and she's like, "What? No, no." But she knows who these people are, and so she's actually a little bit tripping over her tongue. And I think, because again, this was a miss on the swear and iron vow, so I'm gonna actually say these guardsmen, they are actually part of Eli's dissenting group. So they are going to listen to him over Kanara. And they were a little confused, but like with a look, like Eli gives them a look, and they kind of realize, okay. And so they open the gates despite Overseer's Kanara's command to not do it. And so they get down and they open up the gates. And these 4 horsemen just kind of ride straight into town, and the gates are closed after them. And I would say Councilman Eli looks at the guards, nods at them, and the guards actually start chaining the gates up. They start chaining the gates up. And these are 2 guards by the gate. And I think I mentioned in session 1 when we first came to Grimbrook about how the guards of Grimbrook aren't necessarily guards. Like, none of them have any like actual iron armor. All they have are like iron tipped spears, but they kind of wear like normal like farmer clothes because Grimbrook is not really doing too well. So there's the 2 guardsmen by the gates, and then I would say there's even probably 2 more guardsmen. So I would say in total, Grimbrook has like 4 guardsmen. Those 2 that were like had the spears at Albrun's back when he first came in, and then of course the 2 that were at the front of the gate. They have 4 guardsmen. That's it. So there's 2 other guardsmen, and these ones are loyal to Kanara, and so they come up. They're coming up from the longhouse, and they got their spears at the ready. And Overseer Kanara, she's like, telling him, don't engage yet. We need to figure out what's going on. But she knows who these people are, so. And Eli still has that smug look on his face. And at this point, the townspeople of Grimbrook have gathered. So it's quite a crowd. Almost everyone who's not sick is out there. And very confused. Some people are scared. Some people are just like, what the heck is going on? And some people are looking at those other guardsmen that are chaining the freaking gates and like, what's going on? And so Eli, Councilman Eli, he has his hands behind his back. And he's walking around. And these 4 horsemen, they get off their horses, and I would say pretty much all of them have actual iron armor. Some of them have, I would say 2 of them have axes. Um, one of them has a spear strapped to their back, and the other one has a bow and arrow with a sword at his hip. Um, and so they're getting off, and Overseer Kanara, once one of them takes off their helmet, Overseer Kanara's suspicions are confirmed, and she says, "What are you doing here? You, you were exiled from Grimbrook, never to return." And I think some of the townspeople are actually going to recognize this man. And he says, "We have come back because we have received word about what really happened." Hold on. What was that lady's name? Oh, we have received word for what really happened to Overseer Nidara. So that was, if you remember, guys, from I think it was 2 sessions ago. It was session 2, or was that 3 sessions ago? Overseer Nidara was the former overseer before Kinara. And Kinara had usurped her through the law of combat in secret, and claimed that Nidara had just left, or she had just disappeared. And Overseer Kinara, she had actually kind of wiggled her way into the politics of Grimbrook. Like, she had been helping the people, and she was basically the next best pick for Overseer, even though she hadn't been there for that long. And so she had usurped Nidara. That's what the journal said. And so Overseer Kinara is going to, she's gonna be like shaking her head, and like the townspeople are like, "What? Nidara?" They haven't heard about Nidara in probably years. I would say it's been a couple of years at least at this point. And people still know who Nidara is, so it's not like they've forgotten her. So there's some confusion definitely going around. And Kinara, I think Overseer Kinara is going to straight up be like, "I don't know what you're talking about." She's very defensive. And I think that's where Eli is going to chime in. And he's going to remove this tattered journal from one of his sleeves, and he's going to hold it up, and Kinara is going to look at it confusingly, because I think I remember we rolled the Oracle a couple of sessions ago, and so Kinara doesn't actually know what this journal is, and she didn't know it was there. And so Eli is actually going to flip it open to its last entry, and he's going to go ahead and start talking. He's going to say, "We have found Nidara's journal. And her last entry states that you challenged her to the law of combat to steal the iron circlet." And there's going to be like a collective like gasp and just general surprise from the crowd, like, "What?" Like, because I remember we asked the Oracle, most of the people here in Grimbrook do not believe in the law of combat. They do not consider that as a legitimate claim to the iron circlet. I imagine that Grimbrook is almost a bit of a democracy. If I remember correctly, the rulebook actually has a prompt in the Your Worlds or Your Truth section, and it was talking about how like every several seasons overseers are voted into their overseership. So I would say that Grimbrook is one of those settlements that like it's a little bit democratic, where I feel like they kind of vote their overseers in, and Kinara was voted for, but that was only because there was no opposition. She had killed Nidara. And so at this point, and people are actually very surprised because they didn't know that Nidara was killed. They thought that she had just left, that she abandoned Grimbrook, or something like that. There was no word from Nidara, there was no build-up, like she just disappeared one day, and so they had to vote in a new overseer. And so now with this revelation, people are like gasping, like, this is crazy, like, what? Like, Nidara was killed in combat? Like, that's of the old ways. We don't follow the old ways anymore. And so I think Overseer Kinara is, she's gonna kind of get a little bit pale. But at this point, she really can't deny it because this is Nadara's journal, and I'm sure there's been people in Grimbrooke who recognize that journal. I imagine that Overseer Nadara probably wrote in it, while she was overseer. It's not like a private thing. She might have been writing out, you know what I mean? Like, people have probably seen her with that journal, so they recognize it. They know it's the truth. And I'm sure there's some people who would recognize her handwriting. So Overseer Kanara can't really deny these allegations. The proof is right there. It's the journal. Okay. And so what happened? I don't think we need to beat around the bush. I think Eli is going to be very direct at this point, and he's going to say, your claim to that iron circlet is illegitimate. You need to yield it to me. Okay, and so now that's going to be even more of a gasp, because people were already like astonished with this whole revelation that Nadara is dead and she was killed in ritual combat by Kinara. But now that Eli has made his claim, he wants the iron circlet. Remember, there is a division already in Grimbrooke. There are, 1/3 of the people are kind of backing Eli, and so those people are going to kind of like egg this on and like, yes, you need to give up the circlet, hand it over. But then there is a third of people who are loyal to Kinara, and even though, yes, she did kill Nadara, I imagine that that's actually less of an issue right now. Like, I feel like that's something that can be talked about and confronted later, but I think a lot of Kinara's supporters don't want Eli to be the overseer, and so despite this revelation, they're gonna still stand behind Kinara, and they're gonna say, no, like, we voted for her, whatever happened, but we all voted for her to be the next overseer, not you. You can't just take the iron circlet. And I think at this point, those 4 horsemen, they're gonna all like take out their weapons at this point, and Eli's gonna kind of like walk over with them. He's gonna say, I wasn't asking. And so like people kind of quiet down at this point, because remember, Grimbrooke only has 4 guards. 2 of them are on Eli's side, and they have their little spears or whatever. They're still on top. They're like by the door, they're like blocking the chains and stuff. And the only other 2 guards are over there by Kinara. But those 2 guards, they don't have any armor. All they have is like an iron tip spear. Each of them has like an iron tip spear. They don't even have like daggers on them either. They are very unequipped. They cannot take on these 4 horsemen who like have actual iron armor and actual weapons. So at this point, I don't think Kinara has a choice. Like, I don't even think we need to roll anything. I don't think Kinara's armed. She has an axe. I remember that. But again, a 3v4, or really a 3v6, right? I don't think Kinara is stupid enough to take this on. Yeah, this is kind of crazy. So I think, dang. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what Kinara would do, but I don't see any out for her. I don't. I'm trying to think. I don't see any way she could oppose this claim. I mean, I think she takes off the iron circlet, and she's very mad. She's not doing this willingly, but she tosses the circlet to Eli's feet. And she like has her 2 guardsmen. She tells them to lower their spears. And so Eli, a little indignantly, but he picks up the iron circlet and he puts it on with a smile. And dang, I think, okay, for that miss on our iron vow, this is supposed to be an obstacle for us before we can begin our quest. So I think what's going to happen is Eli is then going to say, no one leaves Grimbrooke until after Kinara's trial. So he's going to put Kinara on trial. And so at that, the 2 guardsmen by the gate actually come over and arrest Kinara. They get some rope and they arrest her. And the 2 guardsmen that were loyal to Kinara, they have their spears taken So the horsemen, those 4 people that had horses, they actually come over and they kind of take the spears from those guardsmen. And I would say that they're also going to arrest them too. They might not have done anything wrong, but you can't have loyalists. You can't have armed loyalists. So you gotta jail them too. And so at this point, it's a little chaotic. Like, people are like talking with each other. There's no revolt going on. Like, I don't think there's any crazy revolt. No one's willing or ready to revolt quite yet, if at all. But Kanara and her 2 guardsmen are taken to the central longhouse, and there is a basement where they can keep prisoners. And Eli kind of escorts them there. And the other council people are like talking with each other very feverishly. I think some of them probably knew about Eli's plan. He probably had a few of them on his side. The other ones were probably loyal to Kanara, and they might get, I don't know, we'll see. But so now, like, the Grimrook is kind of in shambles, and we can't leave. Albrun can't leave. The gates are locked. Like, they're chained up, and I think 2 of those horsemen are actually kind of by the gates with those, with one of those guards or whatever, and the other guard is probably in the longhouse guarding Kanara and the other 2. So the gate is guarded, so Albrun can't just leave, and it's sounding like this is going to be a trial. So this is the setback that I think is narratively appropriate for our miss on that iron vow. We're still going to take the vow. We already suffered our momentum, but that's the obstacle that we now have to overcome. Okay, so we have a few choices. We can try to sneak out. We can try to talk our way out. Or we can try to just go through with this trial. We can try to bust Kanara out. Because again, I feel like we have a better relationship with Kanara than we do Eli. Remember, Eli really didn't like us when we first showed up, and the only reason why he tolerates us is because we were of service to him. And we did just swear a vow to Kanara, but it was on behalf of the settlement of Grimrook. So our vow still stands, and we can go fulfill this vow even if Kanara is no longer the overseer. But I don't know. I don't think it feels really appropriate for Albrun to just leave and go fulfill that vow right now. I think he's gonna want to try to maybe resolve what just happened a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Or at least talk to Kanara before he goes. So he's gonna make his way to the central longhouse. No one's really paying him any mind. Like, this is the craziest scandal that's happened in years here in Grimrook, so it's kind of a big deal. And I think Albrun is going to approach the longhouse, and one of those horsemen are kind of outside the longhouse acting as one of the guards, and they're gonna be like, halt, you can't just come in here. And Albrun's gonna say, I need to speak with the new overseer, Eli. I've been tasked with a mission for Grimrook. And I think the horseman is going to kind of look at him, and he's going to see those silver eyes that Albrun has. And he's not very trusting of this mystic, this scold man. He's going to narrow. Is this a compel? I don't think it's a compel. I think what this horseman is just going to do is he's going to go inside and go get Eli. Right? There's really no reason to compel him. He can just verify this information. And I think Eli does obviously still know who Albrun is, and despite all the drama that's happening right now, and despite the craziness that's happening inside the longhouse, because he's talking with the council members, some of them are like against him, some of them are for him, they're talking about it like this is crazy. He is going to grant Albrun an audience. And so the horseman is going to come back out of the longhouse and say, you can come in, but no weapons. And so he's actually going to confiscate Albrun's short sword that he keeps on his hip through his belt. So Albrun has to hand over his short sword, and then he's able to go in. And he goes into the the center place. The council people are kind of even yelling at each other at this point, and the new overseer Eli is going to step away, and he's going to motion Albrun over, and what do you want? And Albrun's going to say, this was crazy. I have no business in the politics of Grimrook. Obviously, I'm just a visitor here. But before this went down, Overseer Kanara asked me to retrieve the mystic Mattick from the deep wilds to come here and perform a ritual for Grimbrook to help you guys grow your crops. And Eli is a little annoyed with official business of Kanara being brought up. You know, he might even feel a little defensive, like he's the new overseer. Like, I don't care what her orders were, but he does definitely recognize that they need food. They're like running pretty low on food, and he's gonna say, yes, that's good. We still need you to do that. You can report to me though. When you bring Mattick, you can bring him to me. I'm the new overseer. And Albrun's like, yes, that's agreeable. So I can leave. I feel like this is a compel, because this was supposed to be an obstacle, so I think this is a compel. Whether or not we can leave now, or if we're gonna have to wait for this trial. So I think this is definitely a compel. Okay, so we're gonna roll compel. Charm, pacify, barter, convince, threaten or incite, lie or swindle. Okay, so can I leave? You know, so I can do service for you. And add +1 if you share a bond. We don't share a bond with Eli himself, but I do feel like we are asking this on behalf of Grimbrook. We are asking, can we leave so we can be of service to Grimbrook? And we do have a bond with Grimbrook. So personally, I do feel like it's appropriate to add +1 here. I feel like we share a bond with Grimbrook, and this isn't a selfish desire. We want to leave to bring Mattick here so they can eat. So this is in service to Grimbrook. So we're going to add +1. And I do feel like that this is a convince compel, so we're going to roll plus heart. So that's +3. Convincing, can we just like walk out and leave? We're rolling compel. Okay, that's a 2 on the action die, +3 is a 5 versus a 4 and a 2. Strong hit. Okay, on a strong hit, they'll do what you want or share what they know. Take +1 momentum, so we're at 5. If you use this exchange to gather information, we're not gathering information, but okay, so now we have permission to just leave. So we overcame that obstacle. That's cool. But I think before we do that, I think I want to talk to Kanara before we go. And so he's like, yes, you can go, but only you. And you better be back with that mystic. And Albrun's nodding his head like, yes. And he says, before I go, Kanara mentioned to me that she knew where this mystic Mattick lives, and I need the directions. And she already told us where he lives. We know that he's northwest on the edge of the deep wilds, but we're lying. So we get to leverage our trickster accent, and we're going to do another compel. And this is a lie. We want to go talk to Kanara. So trickster, when you face danger, secure an advantage, or compel by lying, bluffing, stealing, or cheating, add +1. We're lying. This is a compel. We want to go talk to her. And so this is kind of like a lie to like give us permission to go down there and get in the basement and talk to her. He's gonna squint his eyes. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll and see what happens. So this is compel plus, this is compel with shadow because we're lying. So that's +3 with our trickster asset +4. Ooh, okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, 5 on the action die +4 is a 9 versus a 1 and a 7. Strong hit. Take another +1 momentum, so we're back at 6 momentum. And they will do what we know. Cool. And if you, well, no, we're not gathering information from this exchange specifically. He says, yes, that's fine. You may go speak to her. And he feels pretty confident because he knows that she's chained up with the guardsmen, so he doesn't, and at this point, I don't know if I'll go as far to say that he trusts Albrun, Like, he does still see Albrun as, dirty scold, freaking mystic. But he knows that Albrun is of service to Grimbrooke. So he's not going to send any guards or anything along with Albrun down there. He knows, I think he kind of trusts Albrun's not going to release Kanara. Like, he has no reason to suspect that Albrun has any ill will towards Grimbrooke or towards his overseership. I think that's pretty cool. So we're going to make our way down to the basement. We're not being escorted or anything like that. The guardsman is going to let us pass into the cellar, and we're going to close the door behind us. And Kanara, former overseer Kanara, is going to look up. She's going to see us, and her eyes are going to kind of soften. And, you can definitely see her kind of sweating, like she's pretty nervous because she's freaking about to be put on trial. And so Albrun is going to kind of kneel down there because she's like chained to the floor. And he's going to say, oh, wait a minute. Do we want to reveal that we were the ones behind the journal? I think we are. I don't see any reason why to keep it hidden any longer, right? We're going to tell the truth here. He's going to say, I'm so sorry. She's like, what for? This isn't your fault. He's going to say, it is. That journal Eli had, I'm the one that brought it to him. I took it from your chambers. And she's going to look at Albrun. She's a little solemn, but I don't think she's particularly mad. More so, she recognizes that this was definitely... She's going to say, Eli has been plotting to take the Iron Circlet for a few years now. Possibly ever since I got the Iron Circlet. If it wasn't you, it would have been someone else. I do not blame you. Okay? So, and Albrun's going to say, he has given... this is Albrun speaking. He's going to say, Eli has given me permission to leave so that I may bring Mattick here. He wants me to still... I'm still going to stand by my vow so that the people may eat here. Is there anything I can do for you? Okay. Guys, I am conflicted. Do we want to take on another side quest here? Do we ask the Oracle? Is this an ask the Oracle kind of thing? This trial. I imagine this trial is going to happen pretty quickly, right? It's probably going to happen the next day. There's really no reason to delay. There's no reason for Eli to delay this trial. Okay. Kanara is going to... This is her speaking to Albrun. She's going to say, this trial he is going to put me on, it will happen very soon. He's going to want to solidify his claim to the Iron Circlet as fast as possible. I imagine this trial will happen tomorrow, and I will probably be executed. My guardsmen are here in chains with me. Those who support me, those who stand by me, even those on the council, do not have weapons and cannot fight. They will not be able to fight off these horsemen. And then Albrun is going to kind of interrupt and say, who are these horsemen? They just rode straight into town. They're armored. They're equipped with weapons. Who are they? You seemed like you recognized them. And Kanara is going to say, these were former guardsmen back when Overseer Nadara led Grimbrooke. They were loyal to her, and we had our differences when I took the Iron Circlet. And so they left, and they were exiled. They sought to revolt, and I could not have that. Okay, Albrun's going to nod his head. That makes sense. That's why she recognized them. Okay, what can Albrun do? So I think Kanara's going to say, there's not much you can do. There's no way you can take on 6 of them. There's no way you can take on the former guardsmen and those who are loyal to Eli. You've done a great service to Grimbrooke, and I consider you a comrade. But I suppose if there's something you can do, it would be very beneficial to me if there's some way to delay this trial. Okay? Okay, so that's some information right there. So, again, just like Kanara said, Albrun can't take on those guardsmen. He's not a seasoned fighter. He's not going to be able to 1v4 or really 1v6. So I think Albrun's going to kind of nod his head. He's not going to make a promise, and I don't think she's expecting him to make a promise either. This is not a swear a vow moment. She understands that this is a pretty big ask, and she kind of assumes that he won't be able to do anything, but she threw it out there anyways. She's in chains. She's completely depowered. So Albrun's going to make his way out of the basement. He's going to get back into like the center room of the longhouse. He's going to nod at Li, kind of signaling that he's kind of ready to go. Can we delay this trial? Like Kanara said, Li is going to be kind of desperate to get this trial happening. That's probably why the council people are arguing. They're probably all arguing about when this trial should happen and if this trial is a sham or, whatever. Because imagine this is going to be a bench trial, kind of. I imagine the council people are going to be the, jury, if you will, the judges and the jury. So they're going to be the ones kind of voting on Kanara's fate. And like I said, some of them are loyal to her. There's others that are loyal to Li, and there's probably some that are neutral, kind of on the fence, and they're probably the swing votes, right? And that's probably what they're arguing about. What can we do here? Before we leave, I think we're actually going to interject ourselves in this council people's meeting. And so we're going to kind of walk up to the table. They're all kind of distracted by each other. And we're going to clear our throat. And they're all going to kind of look at us. And Albrun's going to say, with the permission of Overseer Li, I am off to the deep wilds to find the mystic Mattick that you all may be familiar with and bring him back here to perform a ritual over your soil to help with your food. I know you're all discussing the business of this trial with Overseer Kanara, and I think at that Eli's going to kind of narrow his eyes what is this? But Albrun's going to keep going, and he's going to say, it is the ways of the or he's gonna say this. We're lying. Okay, this is definitely gonna be a compel with a lie. We're gonna leverage our trickster asset. He's gonna say, a trial that seeks the truth should be done under the watchful gaze of the full moon, so the truth may be revealed in the light amongst the shadows. We're just talking out of our butt right now. Let's roll. Compel. That's definitely shadow. We're swindling like heck right now, and we're gonna leverage our trickster assets, so that's +4. We're compelling again. That's a 5 on the action die, +4 is a 9, versus a 3 and a 5. Strong hit. Take 1 momentum, so we're up to 7, and this is gonna so I don't think Li buys this, but the council does. The council are like, this is true. We must have this trial on the next full moon, to make sure that the truth is being said. This is a delicate sensitive matter. And I will even say that the next full moon, so I think we're going to roll a d10 here. I feel like a d10 is appropriate. The next full moon, okay, that's a 10. Next full moon is in 10 days. So this trial, we just bought her a lot of time. She has 10 days now. Period. Okay, I'm proud of us. We just bought her 10 days. Eli is not happy. He's huffing and puffing, but he's outnumbered. Even those on the council that kind of support him are also in support of this idea of doing this trial on the full moon. Just because I feel like they are superstitious, I guess. That makes sense to me. Okay, pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and make our way out of the longhouse. And we have permission of Overseer Eli to just leave. So the guards people, we're making our way to the gates. The guards people are going to unchain the freaking gate and let us out. This is we're at noon right now. This has been a couple of hours, I feel like. Has it? No, never mind. It hasn't been a couple hours. It's still kind of in the morning, so it's pre-noon. And so we're leaving, and we're going to go ahead and undertake a journey. We're going to go ahead and undertake a journey. Wow. I think we did a pretty good job there. Okay, so when you travel across a hazardous or unfamiliar lands, set the rank of your journey. Oh, wait a minute. What was that vow that we took? Let me take a look. Convince Elder Mystic Mattick to help Granbrook. Okay, now we haven't reached any type of milestones, but we are going to go ahead and... Yes, we are going to go ahead and make a track for this journey. Okay, so what is the rank? Let's see, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure the rule book actually had a page or something to kind of help you choose your ranks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was something to help you choose your rank when you're undertaking a journey. So let me check the rulebook. I could have sworn that the rulebook said something about, like, if you're traveling between regions, that would be, like, a certain rank on a journey. But I can't find it. I'm on page 65 that describes the undertake a journey move. I could have sworn there was something about... Oh, here we go. Travel in the Ironlands. So let's go to page 111. Yeah, I could have sworn the book said something about this. Oh, yeah, okay. So traveling a moderate distance within a single region is troublesome. So that was like our journey from Grimbrooke to the Iron Pillar. Traveling a long distance within a single region or across rough terrain is dangerous. And traveling from one region to another or across especially challenging terrain is formidable. Okay, guys. Personally, so if we were to just say, we're going from region to region, right? We're going from the Havens to the Deep Wilds, then that would be formidable. But we did specify that Mattick, he's in the Deep Wilds, but he's on the edge of the Deep Wilds. So he's basically pretty close to the Havens. Like, it's not like he's, like, deep in the Deep Wilds. Like, we're not going to have to, travel into the center of the Deep Wilds. You know what I mean? So I know technically when you're traveling between regions, that's formidable. But I feel like since he's on the edge of the Deep Wilds, I feel like that's really not that far. And, Grimbrooke is already pretty close to the Deep Wilds. So personally, to me, I feel like dangerous is more appropriate than formidable for this journey. I feel like this is a dangerous journey. I don't feel like this is something that I consider formidable. So we're going to go with that. That's my justification, and we're going to go with that. So we're going to make this a dangerous journey. Okay. Cool. And we're heading northwest. Okay. So let's go ahead and roll undertake a journey. So do we get any bonuses if we're leaving from a community that we share a bond with? Let's see. When you travel across hazardous or unfamiliar lands, set the rank. Then for each segment of your journey, roll plus wits. Yep, if you are setting off from a community from which you share a bond, add +1 to your initial roll. So we are going to take that. Cool. Okay, so we're rolling plus wits. So that's +2 +1 is +3. So we're going to roll +3 on Undertake a Journey. See what happens. Ooh. It's a 5 and 10 on the action die. And, a 2 on the... on the challenge die. A 2 on the action die +3 is a 5. Oh, man, that's a miss. You gotta be kidding me. You are waylaid by a perilous event. Oh my god, y'all. I am so sick of traveling. This character is not great at travel. Oh my god, I hate traveling. Oh, a miss. Okay. Waylaid by a perilous event. Okay, so we're leaving Grimbrook. What the... A perilous event? What perilous event is waylaying us? Pay the price? Do we need to roll on the pay the price table? Oh, God. Okay. Let's roll on pay the price. Guys, I'm so freaking annoyed. I just want a good journey for once. Okay. It looks like an 18. Your action has an unintended effect. Okay, so the action that we're doing is we're leaving Grimbrook. An unintended effect. I know what it is. Okay, the unintended effect. As we're leaving Grimbrook, okay, I get what this is. As we're leaving Grimbrook, and we're actually making our way into the close, in the distance, we can see the wood line of the deep wilds. We're making our way over there. As we get farther and farther, we actually kind of start to feel a little bit of like a hollowness behind us. And that hollowness is in the direction of Grimbrook. And so we are actually going to go ahead and make a U-turn and go back to Grimbrook because something just feels off. Like in the mystical essence that we can kind of constantly feel as someone who has access to this magic, we need to investigate this. This is weird. And so we make our way back. They let us back in and, we kind of look around at the houses and turns out as we were leaving, this warding effect that we were able to provide for the people of Grimbrook last night, it actually started to wane as we got farther. So it seems like this warding effect, this magic, the location is proximal. Because like I said earlier, we don't have training. So we don't really know or really understand how to properly ward things. And so I think inadvertently we connected the ward with the presence of ourselves. And so unfortunately, as we left, people started getting sick again. So people are starting to mumble again. The trembles have come back. The sweating has come back, and people are getting worse. And, there's a whole bunch of townspeople that are like they're seeing that we came back and they're like running up to us and taking us to their loved ones and, trying to get us to perform our mystic magic services again to try to heal them. And so I think what I'm going to do to reflect this mechanically is we're actually going to take a hit to our essence track, and we're going to go around and we're going to try to recast a lot of these wards. And I'm not going to roll on the invoke. Well, we are. Never mind. We are going to roll invoke. I think that's what we're going to do. Never mind. So we're going to go ahead and roll invoke real quick. We're going to roll the asset, and we're going to have to secure an advantage plus essence to try to fix these wards and see what we can do. So we're going to roll invoke. That's plus essence. Our essence track is plus... Wait a minute. Our essence track is +4, right? Yeah, our essence track... No, our essence track is +3. Yeah, our essence track is +3. Yeah, because we used it twice. We used it when we initially warded ourselves at the pillar to block that force wave, and then we used it again when we were healing people. So we're at +3, and we started at +5. So we're going to go ahead and roll secure an advantage plus 3. That's a 3 on the action die, plus 3 is a 6, versus, oh, a 1 and a 1. So that's a strong hit with a match. So on a hit, we can take plus momentum. This is from the invoke asset. If you hit, you can take plus one momentum. So we're at 8, and you subtract 1 essence. So we're at 2 essence. And then for secure an advantage, let's go ahead and resolve that. On a strong hit, you gain advantage, choose 1. So we can prepare to act, take plus 2 momentum, or we can take control and make another move now. Ooh. I think we're actually going to take control here. I was going to take the momentum and get up to 10, but actually I think we're going to take that plus 1 move. So what we've done, so that was a strong hit with a match. And I think what we're going to do to resolve that match is that recasting these wards, we recognized our mistake the first time we did this, and so on this time when we cast them, we make certain to kind of like disconnect this spell, this ritual, from us locationally, so that when we leave this time, people aren't falling sick again. And so we're able to recast these wards and heal as much people as we can. This has definitely delayed us, so this is now in the afternoon, creeping towards evening. But we are able to cast a lot of those wards again successfully, and we can leave. And so we're going to take that plus 1 on secure advantage for our next move. We're going to undertake a journey. And hopefully we don't freaking miss. Oh my god, I'm going to be so mad if we miss. Okay. So we're going to roll undertake a journey again. Okay, this is plus wits, plus 1. So this is... Oh, and we are... Well... No, I don't think we can take that plus 1 from leaving a community that we share a bond with, because you're only supposed to do that on your initial roll. We did our initial roll and we missed, so I'm not gonna bend the rules. We're not taking that plus 1, so this is just plus 3, plus 2 wits, plus 1 for the secure advantage. So plus 3. Ooh. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Okay, a 2 in the action die, plus 3 is a 5. Oh my god. That's an 8 and a 10. Another miss. Pay the price. You were waylaid by a perilous event. Oh my gosh, guys. This is so annoying. I think I gotta roll on the pay the price table again. Like, oh my god. This is so annoying. I just want to get out of here. Okay, let's roll pay the price. 41. The current situation worsens. What? Okay, so we just successfully casted our wards. That was a strong hit with a match. So I don't think there's anything wrong with our wards. You know what? Okay, maybe... Okay, I think I got it. So maybe... Okay, I got it. So a few of Kanara's supporters, remember, she had like a third of Grimbrook that supported her, avidly supported her. A few of them actually, they kind of show up in the center of town, and they have their, they have some farm tools, so like some hose, maybe a pickaxe, that kind of thing. I would say there's like 3 of them, and they actually like rush at one of these horsemen that's like, standing outside of the longhouse kind of guarding it, and they rush at him, and they're like going to try to attack him. Albrun is going to see this before he's trying to leave, and he's going to freaking go back and try to stop this. He cares about the people of Grimbrook at this point. Maybe not like care, but you know what I mean? Like he cares about their well-being, so he's going to go over there and he's going to say, stop! I feel like this is a face danger, not particularly for us, for these guys. We're going to roll face danger, and we're going to let the outcome of face danger kind of determine how this goes, I think. So, yeah, let's roll face danger. Well, what's the modifier for face danger? Is this wits? With observation, we're observing this? I don't think it's a... Is it agility? Like, maybe we try to run over there to stop this? You know what? Maybe we see them before the guard sees them. And so we're acting with speed, and we're going to go try to convince these people to not do this. So this sounds like face danger plus edge. So we're going to do that. So that's +1. Our edge is awful. So let's just see how that goes. Okay, 3 on the action die +1 is a 4 versus a 3 and a 1. Oh, strong hit on face danger. On a strong hit, you're successful. Take +1 momentum. Okay, so we're able to catch up to these 3 people before they are able to bomb rush one of the horsemen that's guarding outside the longhouse. Stop! We get there. They're like, get out of our way. We are going to go free Kanara. And Albrun's like, this is a very bad idea. You're going to die. Like, they will kill you. So this is, to me, this is very much a compel. They're pretty fired up. This is compel, and this is compel plus heart. We're going to try to convince them. So, okay, compel. Let's just go for it. Oh my god. Can we just get this journey on? Okay, so that's a 2. On the action die, +2 is a 4 versus a 9 and a 2. Weak hit. Okay, take +1 momentum. Okay, we're at 10 momentum. I gotta start burning my momentum, guys. I'm gonna have to start turning some of these weak hits into strong hits. But it's a weak hit. But they ask something for you in return. You know what? No, I don't even want to deal with this. Let me take that 1 momentum back. So we're back down to 9. And I think I'm going to choose to burn momentum on this weak hit that we just rolled. So when you burn momentum, you can cancel out any of the dice that are... Wait, never mind. We can't burn momentum. We rolled a 9 on the challenge die. Never mind. Okay, we're taking the momentum. So we're back up to 10. Oh, God. Fine. They asked something for us to return. So we're like, no, you can't do this. You're going to die. You cannot take these people on. I was going to say, well, we can't just leave her in there to rot. We have to help her. This was unjust what Eli did. Okay? And Albrun's like, okay, what can I do to get you guys to not do this? Like, this is not smart. This is not what she would want. This will only cause bloodshed. This is not good. Okay, what do they ask? Honestly, I think I need to ask the Oracle, because I don't even know what the heck they would want. Or, I think this is an Ask the Oracle action and theme. Sounds like to me. Okay, so we're going to roll action and theme. Oh my gosh, we cannot get out of Grimbrooke. This is crazy. Okay, that's a 4. Initiate. Initiate wound. Okay. What they ask is, so this one dude, he has the hoe. He's like, we need to make them hurt. We have to weaken them somehow. We can't just let them keep her chained up and let them keep all their strength. We have to do something. Okay. And so Albrun's like, okay. I will do what I can. I will try to weaken them somehow. And if I do that, will you wait for the trial? It happens in 10 days. The full moon is in 10 days. And that's when they are doing the trial. And I'm like, yes, if you do something to weaken them, make sure they're not as strong. They have us outnumbered. They're all armored and armed. If you can do something about that, then we will wait. Okay. So, okay. What are we going to do? Sounds like we either need to somehow maybe get a few of the horsemen out of Grimbrooke, or, you know, somehow get rid of their armor. Oh, you know what? Oh, what if we get rid of their horses? I'm sure their horses are probably, like, kind of close to the gate or something. They're not on their horses anymore. And I feel like that kind of weakens them. They probably have some of their supplies on their horses. You know what? Maybe we don't get rid of the horse. Well, I think here's what we're going to do. Okay, here's the plan. Okay, so we're going to talk to this dude with the hoe. You know what? Let's actually go ahead and give him a name, I think. It sounds to me like he might be a more significant character by the time we get back to Grimbrooke. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give him a name. So we're going to roll on Ironlander names. That's Oracle 13. That's a 40. Avela. That doesn't make sense. We need a male name. What about 4? Sola. No, that doesn't make sense. Basir. We need a male name. Avela is not. Avel. No, let's roll again. 44. Ithella. No, that's not good either. We already decided that he's a man, so I shouldn't have done that. But okay, Hinion. Hinion. Okay, let's go ahead and write that down. Okay, I actually have a few things to write down. So, complication. Okay, we have his name, Hinion. We have our complication. We need to weaken these horsemen or Eli or whatever before we can leave. Oh my god. Okay. So I think the plan, I think the best course of action here, the easiest thing to pull off is to, I don't think we need to kill the horses, or I was thinking about releasing them, but I don't see how we would get them out of the gate. I don't think we could get them out of the gate, but I think what we can do is steal the supplies that are on the horses. So I imagine that these horsemen, they have like food, maybe extra weapons, that kind of thing on saddlebags for the horses, and I think we can probably steal those. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do, and we're telling Henny on this. We're gonna say, okay, how about we take their food, the food that's on their horses, the food and weapons. You can use these weapons to arm yourselves, and you can use the food to strengthen yourselves, as long as you promise not to revolt until I get back. Don't do it. And Hinion says, okay, this is agreeable. We need more weapons. We could use some of their spare armor, and we definitely could use their food. I agree. Okay, that sounds like a good deal to me. Okay, so I guess let's ask the Oracle. Are these horses guarded? That's what we need to know. I want to know if there's someone guarding these horses. What we know is that we know. So let's just go ahead and get a tally going. In terms of like armed supporters that Eli has, he has these 4 horsemen that were ex-guardsmen that came into town. And then he had 2 of Grimbrooke's guardsmen on his side. Grimbrooke had a total of 4 guardsmen. 2 of the guardsmen that were on Kanara's side are in chains in the dungeon. So right now, the only people who are armed are the 4 horsemen and the 2 guardsmen that are on Eli's side. We know that one guardsman, or actually I would say probably one of the horsemen, is in the longhouse in the basement guarding Kanara and those 2 other guardsmen. I would say there's another horseman that is in front of the longhouse, kind of guarding the longhouse. That's the one who stopped Albrun from getting in before, talking to Eli and getting the all clear. And so that leaves 2 regular guardsmen and 2 horsemen unaccounted for. So I'm thinking those 2 guardsmen, they were the gate guardsmen, and I don't see why they would leave the gate. So I imagine that there's 2 guardsmen by the gates. And then the 2 horsemen, I imagine that maybe there's one of them that's also inside of the central longhouse. I think that makes sense. I think there might be another one that's inside of the longhouse, because there's one in the basement and there's one outside. There also might be one with the councilman, making sure that there's nothing crazy going on, there's no coups happening, and just generally protecting Eli. I think Eli would feel comfortable with one of those horsemen kind of acting as his personal bodyguard. So there is one other horseman left, right? And I imagine that one is might even be on his horse, I don't know, but is patrolling Grimbrooke, just kind of like going around and just making sure there's nothing crazy going on. So we have 2 guardsmen by the gates, 1 horseman that is just kind of moving through Grimbrooke, and then the other 2 horsemen are in the longhouse, so those ones we don't have to deal with. And so I want to ask the Oracle, are the horses of the other horsemen, are they being guarded? And to be honest, I don't know if I can really say it's likely or unlikely, because no one else is armed in Grimbrooke, so I don't see why they would feel the need to guard their horses. But at the same time, I could also see them parking their horses parking the horses, like kind of by the gate with the other guardsmen able to see that. So I think I'm just going to go with a 50-50. I'm going to say 0 to 50, the horses aren't guarded. No. 0 to 50, the horses are guarded. That's a yes. So the horses are guarded from 0 to 50. And from 51 and up, the horses are unguarded. So they're parked somewhere where no one's watching. So let's just go ahead and ask the oracle that. What's that? That's an 86. So the horses are unguarded. Okay, so I imagine that they're probably parked in the stables. Maybe there's a stable somewhere, and there's no guardsmen to spare. You know, Grimbrooke already didn't have that many guards, and there's only four horsemen, so the horses are unguarded. Perfect. Okay, so Albrun's going to make his way over to the stables, and I would say even Hinion and maybe some of his other fellow armed people are going to come with, and so Albrun is gonna, motion for Hinion, stay back, I got this, it's better, we don't want to look too suspicious, stay back, I will meet you at your home that he saw them coming out of, and so Albrun, or you know what, actually no, never mind, that doesn't make sense, they are gonna come with Albrun. Albrun can't carry all that by himself, and so this sounds to me like, I feel like this is a secured advantage. This feels like a secure advantage to me, right? Or is it face danger? I don't think it's face danger. No one's guarding. I think this is secure advantage. Yeah, this is secure advantage plus shadow. Using deception, stealth, or trickery. We're stealing. And our trickster asset actually does give us a bonus for stealing. When you face danger, secure an advantage, or compelled by lying, bluffing, stealing, or cheating, add +1. So we're going to roll secure an advantage plus shadow. That's +3, +1 from trickster. That's +4. So we're rolling secure advantage +4. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see, that's a 5 and a 10. Oh, crap. Where's my action die? 5 and a 10. With a 4 plus 4 is an 8, so that's a weak hit. On a weak hit, your advantage is short-lived. Take 1 momentum. Okay, so we succeed. We're already at +10 momentum. So Albrun, Hinion, and a few of the other Kanara supporters are gonna run up to these horses, and they're literally just gonna take their daggers. They're gonna slice these saddlebags right off the horses. They're going to be careful, make sure these horses don't get scared or anything and make noise. They're going to get these saddlebags, and they're going to kind of, snake their way through the village and get into one of the homes. Maybe not, they're not going to get into the home of Hinion that was closer to the longhouse because they don't want to be seen. They're going to get into one of the other homes of a Kanara supporter, and they have these saddlebags. And I would say in these saddlebags, it sounds like to me that there is a good supply of food. There's some food, some bread, some dried meats. I would say there's probably, let's see, there was 4 horses. I would say that there's probably 4 good weapons. So maybe some swords and some swords and axes. I would say probably 2 swords, maybe an axe, maybe an extra bow from that one archer with some arrows. And as for armors, maybe some leather armors. I can't imagine that the horses would be carrying iron armor. So maybe some leather bracers, some boots or something. So not a lot, but it's something. Now at least there are 4 armed Kanara supporters now in secret. Okay, so Albrun is going to, nod his head at Hinion. Thank you for delaying this revolt. Wait for me to come back. Hinion is a man of his word. He agrees. Cool. Okay. So we stopped the revolt. Jesus Christ, that was 2 misses in a row on Undertaker Journey. We have yet to make it out of Grimbrooke. But I think that this is a good stopping point for Session 5. Session 6, we will try to undertake a journey again and get this show on a road and get some progress boxes on that journey. But thank you for watching and listening. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like, feel free to leave comments, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully we have better luck with Undertaker Journey and we can get out of Grimbrooke. Oh my god.